Good afternoon from New York City, and good morning from California, the west coast of the United States of North America. Today we are going to, on this stream I'm going to fly. I'm going to have to speak a little bit lower because my partner is giving a class right now, so I'm not going to be as excitable as usual because I have to be quiet. But today I'm just doing an off-the-cuff flight from this Rancho San Simeon here on the, I'll zoom out for you to see, on the California coast. See, like this is here is the United States. Here's the real weather. I'm going to be using real weather for the flight conditions, whatever the weather is there. I'm not sure what it is. And LA is way to the south here. I'm going to be heading there tonight in Grand Theft Auto Online. I've never been there other than Grand Theft Auto. Never been there in real life, but I have been here in real life, and the first time I reached the Pacific Ocean was a very important moment for me. And here's a picture of me. Let's see if this works. Here's a picture of me at that time. That was July 2005. After we traveled from New York, from the East Coast to the West Coast over 2 months on a long trip. We arrived at San Simeon, and I think I have something wrong here. Let me fix this. There you go. There was an update to Microsoft Flight Simulator today. Hopefully it hasn't broken anything important. But yeah, that's me back then. I was very excited to see the Pacific Ocean for the first time. And today I'm going to take off from this little airfield near where I first arrived at the Pacific Ocean, this place called San Simeon National Park. And I'm going to go to fly up the coast and following Highway 1 up the coast. I'm going to pass by Monterey, it's around here I think, yeah, and then Big Sur, probably Carmel where our car broke down. We had to spend like 10 days camping in backyards and stuff. And before we finally managed to make it to San Francisco on this life adventure we had very little money, but I'll tell you more about it during the flight. So let's get going. I'm going to click on fly. I haven't done any test runs of this. I mean, I don't know what the weather's like. Maybe there's visibility is 0. Hopefully not, because I'm flying. I'm going to be flying the Savage Cub that doesn't have a GPS map. Although I have a digital GPS map with me both here in the computer, and if you press V, this little map appears. That should help us follow the coast up and to San Francisco eventually. There's lots of landmarks there for us to see. And once in San Francisco, I should be able to visually, if the weather's okay, find the Bay Bridge. Obviously, we'll do some flybys, the Golden Gate, all that. Let's see if I make it. I mean, it'll be a long flight, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, and real time. I'm glad my skin is still there. Lovely bird. Let's take a look what it's telling me here. Visibility is great, 10 nautical miles. Okay, wind is at almost 3 knots, 225. So that's, let's see, I have that's southwest. I have my little compass rows of back azimuth here that you can download for free if you want in hyper360.com/archive. Search for compass over there. And let's go. Clarity to fly. Happy to see that my little hearts in my plane wings are still over here. That this little update from Sobo Studios didn't break that. It's a very short runway. There's no other planes around. Just taking a look out the outside view for you to see a beautiful, completely clear day. It looks like in California today. And so I'm going to right now. I'll do a takeoff from the external view to show you what that's like. Control B that I mapped to undo my rudder. I hold. I mean the brake. I hold brake, full power. Release the brake, and here we go, rolling down the runway. Lovely bird. Call sign 000-001. Lovely bird, and we're up. Beautiful California landscape near the Great Pacific Ocean. First time I arrived here was July 2005. It was the first time I saw the Pacific Ocean in my life, and it was a very some almost like a moving moment for me. I don't know, I can't explain why, but it was very moving. And after traveling for a long time, I reached that ocean and I could see like this great expanse, and it was a foggy day. And sorry, I'm doing I have a bit of a defective volume control here on my audio, so I hope you can hear me okay. But it should be a pretty easy flight. I'm gonna turn head north and just follow the coast, and we'll see what it looks like. Many people have been moved by this part of the world. Many writers, many philosophers, artists. There's something about, I think, reaching the California coast, heading west, that is special. That is different from heading east or in other directions. Part of me wonders whether it's because when you're heading west, the Earth spins on a clockwise direction, from left to right, and maybe heading west actually, you know, it gives you an extra day if you cross the international date line. I think if you fly fast enough, it actually makes you younger, so time moves more slowly, I think. I may be wrong, maybe if you travel fast enough in any direction, time will move more slowly for you. But west is always been one of my favorite directions of travel. I think also because the sun rises in the east and you see it going up the sky. Let's see where the sun is right now. See, there's the sun. You see it up the sky rising east, and it goes to the west. It's almost like you're chasing the sun, and I love to see western sunsets into the sea. That's some of my favorite places in the world to have the sunset going into the water to the west. So yeah, here we are. Not sure. I'm not so familiar with the names of little towns in this area, so I'm just gonna keep flying, and whatever comes to my head, I'll talk. And maybe on my secondary screen here on my other computer, I can take a look at some of the things that may be passing by with my views. Let's see. Now I'm just gonna let you soak in this view of while I'm fiddling with other stuff here of California, the Pacific coast. Wonderful. On Lovely Bird 00-001. Alright, let's see. Maps. And San Simeon National Park. There's some fires there. I don't know if they model fire smoke in this game yet, but there's a Dolan fire, I guess, near Hot Springs. Let's see, what is this thing here? Okay, I think this must be approaching Ragged Point, Estero Bluff Straight Park over here. Keep a look, an eye out on these. Okay, I'm just directly over San Simeon here, so it was really around here that I first, maybe even that road there that I first, in real life, arrived here 15 years, so just over 15 years ago. That's strange, a road going into the sea there. And then I have some photographs that I have to publish all that time that I've never published of the arriving, and I saw in the distance, it's another little airfield, interesting. I saw in the distance this fog, and it was a fog that I couldn't understand what it was from a distance, so I kept looking. I was like, what is that? Is the Pacific white? Is the Pacific like this frothy white? What's going on? And then I realized, because we were up in the hills here, a little bit of a freezer. We were up in those hills up there that you can see, and we were coming down, so we were above the fog. But then when we came down, all of a sudden we got into the fog, and then it looked like this. It was very, very cloudy, and there's that picture of me on that day. First time, and I actually dove in the water that day, but I was so shocked how cold it was. The Pacific is so cold in this part of California. I almost froze. I shouted and I jumped out of the water again. Later I asked Amber to take this picture. I think this was actually before I jumped in the water. She should have taken a picture of it after I jumped in the water too. Maybe there is one, I don't remember. I'm going to be looking for some of those photographs soon. You can see some traffic down there. Little computer-generated little cars to give a more interesting view of the sky, a more realistic view of the sky in this really wonderful video game by Microsoft, which I like calling microcomputer software. I don't know why. Okay, let me take a look again on the map. I just passed this, I think, and now I'm approaching, this is Highway 1 down here, one of the most beautiful roads in the world. Elephant Seal Vista Point. So this right to the right here on the bottom, I think this is Elephant Seal Vista Point. There's these big seals called elephant seals that you can see from this position. That's a little island. There was some sort of glitch from the maps view from this height, and like very completely clear. Like they say, the weather, I've heard that the weather in LA it's like, you know, blue sky all the time. But now with the whole COVID pandemic situation, I had a friend who was living there. Hello, Dave. If you ever come and watch my stream, I'll give some props to you. He's a writer. He was living in LA, and he decided to move to Atlanta. I think it's a little nuts, but he wants a job at some place there, so he did that. But when he was living in LA, he sent me this photo recently of the sky, how it looks there right now. It's, well, not right now, but like a month or two ago with the COVID. It was such a great reduction in traffic that the sky, you could see so much further. The sky became this bright, clear blue. And this is one of the things about this pandemic that I think is a positive thing. Maybe it gives people a little bit more space to think, you know, is my life going the way I want it to go? Do I want to sit in traffic for hours every day? Like, how much time in your life do so many people spend sitting in a car in traffic going to work and then doing the same to go home later? And maybe with this sort of pause in the world affairs, it's giving people a little bit of breathing space, a little bit of time to think about what they want from their life. Because, you know, life is short. It's not very long. If you're religious, depending on your religion, you might think you're going to have a different life, or you might think there's a heaven afterwards. You're going to go there, and everything will be better. But the life we have here, for me, this is the real heaven. And if we have to do our best, especially if we're luckier than most people, like I am. I can afford to buy a computer, I can afford to play these video games. I'm not like fighting to survive out in the streets. So we should try to make the most of our lives and doing things that we really enjoy, that makes us happy. The beautiful valley there. And I think this moment, this pandemic, in one way it's a blessing, because it gives you, I think it has given a lot of people, especially luckier people, time to think. The people that are already struggling to live day by day, you know, for them it's already a struggle. It's hard, and we have to savor every good moment that we have. And for me, flying is one of my passions since I was a kid. I flew on airplanes because my dad used to work as a plant pathologist. He used to research plants and crops and trees, and so he traveled all around Brazil, and oftentimes the research stations would be remote, and we lived in one that I'm going to fly to in the future, in the border between Bahia and Goiás. Hey, Philosophical again. Hey, Marcel Beck. Nice. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, I'm often, I think one of my modus operandi is to be philosophical. I looked up Matthias, the gentleman, I think it was a hero who flew to he landed in Red Square in 1987 in Moscow. He flew from Helsinki, and I'm planning to do that flight on that same airplane, Cessna 172, that Matthias Rust did, and that I think really helped bring the world together back then, because you know, it was still the Cold War. It was Gorbachev was in power, and Reagan here in the United States, a lot of nuclear weapons pointing at each other, like it is still the case today. But that back then it was more scary. There was East Germany and West Germany. There was a big wall in between these two countries that some people still think is a good idea. I don't. And this guy called Matthias Rust, I'm going to be talking much more about him, that this very kind gentleman, gentle person here, Marcel Beck, told me about, reminded me about yesterday on my stream over Rome. This, he was I think 18 years old, and he flew a Cessna 172 from Helsinki without permission across the Iron Curtain to the east to Moscow. He was intercepted by a MiG-23, and the pilot of the MiG asked permission to shoot him down and was denied, and there was a bunch of confusion of the air defenses, and he landed in the bridge right by Red Square and then taxied into Red Square on this airplane, and all this crowd of people came in to greet him and ask him, why did you do it? And he said, I did it to, you know, to help make this bridge between East and West, and I want us to disarm, you know, and I want peace for peace. And so there was this big show trial, and I think he was 14 months. He had a much higher sentence, but he was in the end 14 months in prison, and he was released after Reagan and Gorbachev met. I forget the name of the island where they met, or this remote part of the North Sea or somewhere, and they signed the accord to reduce the number of nuclear weapons, for disarmament. So I really think those sorts of actions you can see by an individual that can have, you know, can inspire people, can inspire the people in the world to come together instead of fighting. And I think that's really it was a heroic action of this guy. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, they shot down the Korean plane. Yep, it's that I remember that. Yeah, that was a huge tragedy. So they were probably quite, yeah, you know, like again recently in Syria, in Iran, there's so much tragedy when people are fighting, and I really hope that we have leaders that can talk to each other and can prevent these tragedies from happening. Less war, more peace. This game, I think, helps promote that because it lets you fly everywhere. Right now we're over Big Sur somewhere on the west coast of California. Let me see, where could this be? Look at these mountains over here. Yeah, Ragged. We're going to get close to Ragged Point soon. I think maybe past that. Salmon Creek Coast, the SBS State Water, Salmon Creek Falls. I'm not sure where all these places are, but I'm just following the west coast. We're headed to San Francisco, and we're going to try to land in Berkeley. By this, going to try to land on the road or this little field by a house that I used to live in. It was a cooperative house, meaning that many people live there together. Berkeley is a bit of a hippie place. It has a lot of these type of co-ops, they're called. And this particular one where we're headed to is was founded, I think, 36 years ago. I saw on Facebook on the page yesterday. It's called a Playground, and it was founded about 36 years ago by some students. One of them was a lawyer, and he offered to put in the work to incorporate this, basically buy this house, get a mortgage on it. This turn-of-the-century house was like 3 stories tall, and make it a non-profit and rent it to people for very little money, and have students live there, and all sorts of hippie, like smoked a lot of weed. I think in the past, before on my time there, they made different types of drugs, you know, LSD, all sorts of stuff. This was like in the 80s, late 80s, and we were very lucky to be able to live in this house for some time. I'm gonna say hi to some of my friends there if I manage to make it there in this flight. If they have a couple still there, Margot stays there a couple of days a week. She's one of the original founders. This really awesome human being. My heart is in California. I live in New York right now, but I really miss California, and I miss Italy too, of course. Like I had talked all about in the stream yesterday with Marcel, accompanying me very kindly. But the west coast of the United States, not all of California, obviously. There's a lot of very conservative people there who want to, you know, they want their freedom and their guns. That's it, you know. But there's a lot of people that are very they're free spirits. I think that's one of the reasons why Silicon Valley and a lot of these great computer systems, the Mac and well, Microsoft further up to the north, but they work harder over there. And I think in the look at that beautiful view where it rains a lot. But yes, middle to Southern California, really gorgeous and an important place for creativity. It's kind of like almost like the Florence of the late 20th, early 21st century. It has been. Now maybe it's changing a bit, but a lot of creativity, a lot of great music, a lot of beautiful landscapes. And one of my favorite philosophers, I mean, I don't know if, I guess I should call him a philosopher. There's the wonderful Pacific to the west. This man by the name of Jiddu Krishnamurti. He was brought up in India in the 1920s. He was the son of, I think, some poor Indian man who somehow came to meet these people who were, I think, English, and they had this thing called the Theosophical Society, and they were looking for someone to be the embodiment of the world teacher, to carry the spirit of the world teacher. And they wanted to, it was like basically they thought this prophet was coming, and so they brought up this kid, they taught him English and to be this world teacher. And at one point later, when he was in his early 30s, I think he gave a speech, which I think is one of the great speeches in humanity, and it's called the Dissolution of the Order of the Star. And basically he went to, I think he was in Sanen in the Netherlands, and there were all his followers there, like waiting for this message from this world teacher, and he basically said, I think truth is a pathless land. You can come to it. There's no way you can come to it other than your own path. You have to find it for yourself. You shouldn't listen to, you know, any religion, any religious leaders, any leaders at all. You should just listen to your own heart. Find out what's true for yourself. You shouldn't listen to me either. And since I happen to be the leader of this Theosophical World Teacher Society, I hereby dissolve it. So, you know, I kind of wish, you know, the Pope, like Papa Francesco, would go imagine what would happen. He would go in St. Peter's Square and give a speech and say, you know what, I thought a lot about this, but Catholicism and pretty much these other religions, I don't think they're a very good idea. You know, they divide people. They say it's all about peace and love, but in the end, they cause a lot of wars and divide people between whether you follow the religion or another religion or not. So I hereby dissolve it, and I'm actually going to give a bunch of money here in the Vatican to, you know, charities and to build some houses for the people that are struggling. But, you know, I don't know that. I don't think that's going to happen. But so that was the wonderful thing about Krishnamurti, Jiddu Krishnamurti, and this dissolution of the Order of the Star. I had never before heard a leader dissolve the thing that he was meant to be the leading, and that made me really a fan. I'm a bit of a rebel. I'm authoritarian's bad day, that's for sure. And he was a rebel too, so that made me a big fan. One of the books that I recommend for everyone is The First and Last Freedom, and another one is Think on These Things, which is you can open in any page and just read it. It's a very beautiful sort of meditation on what it is to be a human being. And the reason I'm talking so much about this guy right now is because he died, I think. He loved Western California. It was a bit further south, quite a bit further south, near LA, where he spent a lot of time and where he died. His last book is called, I think I have it here. Here, I'm gonna keep flying out, and I'll put it on here on my little thing, because I forget the name. 1 second. No autopilot, so I hope I trimmed it well. Okay. Where is Krishnamurti last notebook? Oh, I got it. Never mind. I'm streaming. I have a very kind person called Marcel Beck here with me. Okay, so this is the one. Doing a bit of advertising for Krishnamurti here. Krishnamurti's last, to himself, his last journal. This was the last book that he wrote. And ooh, it's getting a little bit choppy here. What's going on? And I'll put it here. But Think on These Things is really the best one. It's more of a, this one is just like really raw journal entries, and the other one is more like meditations. But any of these books I recommend, especially The First and Last Freedom. That has an introduction by Aldous Huxley, who wrote Brave New World. And it's really a wonderful book that can change my life. Maybe it can change yours. And let's continue flying here. I think maybe I'm approaching Big Sur. I mean, Big Sur is a big area. So let's keep going in the slow flight north towards San Francisco while talking about philosophy, Krishnamurti, music, all sorts of stuff. How about we switch to music a little bit now? I can't talk as loud today because my partner's, I just disturbed her actually. She's conducting some lessons online as well. Everybody's doing everything online. Luckily, we have a pretty fast internet connection here. It doesn't seem to be stepping on her toes or her on my toes of my little savage cub with little hearts here. And music. Okay, music. San Francisco. One of the highlights of my concert going. I haven't gone to many concerts, but one of the highlights of going to, is it a tower there? No, it's a tree. Of going to live music happened, I think it was around 2006. And I went to see Buddy Guy play blues guitar in the Fillmore West. Yeah. And you weren't supposed to take a camera in, but I just put mine in the bottom of my bag under a sweater or something. They didn't see it, so I just went right to the front, and I managed to get a couple of pictures of Buddy Guy playing guitar. You know, he's one of my favorite guitar players. He's really has a really long career. I mean, he started playing when he was very young, and he's still going at it. He forgets his lyrics sometimes now, but you know, it doesn't matter. He can play the blues like, you know, he's one of the blues greats. He sings with his guitar. And it's really nice to, I'm very glad to have seen Buddy Guy live that time in San Francisco. Maybe if I keep my plane trimmed here, there's a lot of these bridges in over the cliffs of Big Sur. This is a really beautiful area to travel in and to camp in. I camped with a couple of friends in Big Sur State Park, I think it was called, years ago. And it was really gorgeous. And I have a book of photographs coming out soon. I'm gonna self-publish on Blurb, and there's 2 pictures from that trip from us going to Big Sur in the book. And once I have my final maquette ready, I'm gonna show it to you here on stream. I'm gonna tell you where you can find it, and I'm gonna do some promotion for myself as well, not just to these philosophers and these musicians. It's not really a book to make lots of money or anything, because you can't, you know, it's so expensive to print these things. The amount of money you make from selling them is so little that you can't make money with photo books unless you really are already super well known and you come out of something that everyone wants, and I think there's just like a handful of people in the world like that. But you know, it puts your name out there. I just wanted to have something that I say I did this, I finished this. I don't know if maybe that's Henry Miller's house down there. I don't know. There was this beautiful trees, beautiful redwoods in this part of California. We went, the author Henry Miller also loved this place, spent a lot of time here. I think that he wrote this book called, or this short story called The Oranges of Hieronymus Bosch or something, and that was based on some, on his experiences here. Yes, what was I saying? Yeah, so the photo book is more to have done something that I say, I did this, I'm totally responsible for this, no excuses, it's done, it's finished, and here it is. I'm not great at finishing things, although I guess I'm getting better at it now because I actually built this little computer that I'm flying this flight simulator in, and successfully managed to start streaming, which was turned out to be quite a long, big project, but here it is. And yeah, it's nice to finish something, especially outside of the computer, have something physical that with your name on it, you can say, I did this. And with self-publishing these days of websites like Blurb, it's pretty easy because you don't have to like print a bunch of books, put a bunch of money in it. You can just put it up there. They take care of the printing, they take care of the distribution, and you just design the book, and their tools are pretty good. I guess I still am a graphic designer for hire if you want to hire me sometime, but that's my day job, if you will. Flying and streaming is my night job. Although I'm trying to make it my day job, hence me being here. But yeah, I worked for a long time as a graphic designer. I worked with Milton Glaser. These hearts on the airplane are based on the I Love New York logo that Milton designed many years ago. He passed away earlier this year, sadly, but he was, I think, 96, so he had a long life and he produced so much beautiful work. I think a real artist, real gentleman. I was so lucky and blessed to have worked with him for some time, for some months in New York City here 3 or 4 years ago. All right, Big Sur. Lots of these little bridges that cross the cliffs in this part of the world, and really amazing landscape. And actually today I did a test. The other day I did a test. My first stream, I think I tried to fly under the Brooklyn Bridge in New York City, and my propeller was spinning, and then it just stopped spinning, and I had to do a forced water landing and get the microcomputer software a screen of death. But I didn't think I hit anything. So the other day I flew under another bridge. The bridges that don't appear like a solid block, but are more that you can see. It looks like you can fly under them. And again, I made sure that there was plenty of space. I flew right in, and all of a sudden, boom! Microcomputer software screen of death, and a message saying you didn't put down your landing gear. What? So there's definitely a problem with flying under bridges in this game right now. I don't know if it's possible, if someone has done it. Maybe the bridge model has to be hand placed into the games to make a sort of empty space under that you can fly under. And most of the bridges in the world that are generated by this AI are just a solid object that you crash and try to fly under. I don't know. It's early days. This game just came out, a week or two ago? I don't even remember, but not too long ago. It's going to develop a lot, and I'm really excited for what's coming because you can fly anywhere in the world. I do plan on doing the Matthias Rust flight from Helsinki to Moscow and landing in Red Square eventually, unless I Google it and someone's done it. If someone's done it, then I'll leave it at that. But maybe I'll still do it. I still will, because I think that's a really important thing to remember. That type of actions by an individual. Very beautiful flying day. You can see the controls here. I really like these in the Savage Cub. These very bright primary. This green, this yellow, and this red makes it very clear to me where I am, whereas when I start getting a bit more dangerous airspeed, and the oil pressure, a bit high the oil pressure now, going to the yellow. I actually don't really know how to fly this. I know how to fly it just by seat of the pants flying, sort of just randomly knowing how to fly
playing some flight simulators, but I don't know a lot of details about this stuff, like the oil pressure. Should I, there's something, should I control it with a choke or something? I don't know if I should start messing with this, because since it's going okay, it's in the yellow, the oil pressure, but if it starts getting climbing up, then I'll start worrying. But yeah, very simple controls, very easy plane to fly in terms of moving around. Careful not to get a lot of airspeed. To do the Matthias Rust flight to Moscow, from Helsinki to Moscow, I'm going to have to learn to fly a Cessna 172. And Microsoft Flight Simulator has actually a Cessna flight tutorial that you can take, and I might stream that later, like just do the whole tutorial and stream it to show you what it's like. I haven't done it yet. I don't know what it's like, but there's like 8 or 9 parts, from flying the aircraft, instruments, takeoff, landing, traffic patterns, air traffic, talking to air traffic control. I assume all the little controls on the airplane, all this stuff does. And I'm gonna do that and stream it, I think, because I really have to get better at planning these flights. I want to have like blog posts of the waypoints, so that you can see what's gonna be coming, for you to see if you're gonna be particularly interested in it. And I want to announce it like a few days in advance, so you can say, oh, this day it's gonna be this flight. And in the future I want to do that. Right now I'm just starting and going a very improvisational manner to places generally that I have been in the real world, so that I can talk a little bit more about them. How's it going? It's okay. I'm flying up the California coast from San Simeon to where we arrived, to Big Sur, and then to San Francisco. I'm gonna try to land by the playground. Yeah? How's it going? Beautiful water down there. Let's see, so if I had been a bit more prepared about this, I would be able to talk a little bit more about these places I'm flying over. But what I can do is I can press V, and then it shows you this little map here. And then I zoom out a little bit. It's going to be quite a long flight. And then based on the shape of this, coastline here, I can open another, I can go to Google Maps and open another tab and kind of see more or less where I think I am based on that shape of the coast. So based on that, let's see. Let's see. I'm not sure. Is that board up there? Estella Bluff State? No, I think we passed that. Okay, I think up in this little thing here, I'm not sure if you can see it on the stream. This little, yeah, you can actually. You can see this little thing here. I think that's Lucia. A little town on Highway 1. Lime Kiln State Park is Cone Peak, and north of that is the Big Creek State Marine Reserve. So yeah, let's see if we can go a little lower here and see what it looks like from lower down. Some computers here, a little bit disorienting. Yesterday I played quite a bit of Arma. Like, it was a 3-hour stream. It's my on-the-ground shooting video game that simulates bullets and tactical combat very well. And I like that game a lot too. It's moddable and I can play with friends. I had someone ask me if they could join yesterday, and I have to talk to my friends about it still, because it's not my server. I don't control the server that we were playing on, and I want to make sure everyone's okay with it. But generally I think it supports, I think, 32 players. We like to keep it the people we know, like that we know well. It's like we don't want to get randoms that are going to cause loads of trouble. But you know, if it's a nice person, oh, look at that little house there. If it's a nice person, sure, I don't see why not. Okay, flying lower here on up the coast of Big Sur towards San Francisco. It is going to take about an hour and a half, probably about an hour, another hour from now to get there. A little, probably a bit under, like probably about 40-50 minutes to San Francisco. And then from there we will cross the bay to Berkeley and try to find the playground cooperative house. Unless I crash, of course. If I start flying this sort of fly profile here very low, there's always a chance that I'll hit a tree or an invisible bridge or something and crash. I kind of wish it was a foggy day or there was some clouds here, because the weather is amazing in this game, but it's kind of, I think it's sort of procedurally generated. I mean, it's based on real weather, but they put the data in, but it's very hard to get the same exact weather that you have twice in a row. Even if you put the same exact settings, it changes, and on the one hand that makes it you know, can be a little annoying for you to get the precise look you want, but on the other hand I think that it's really good because it makes it random. It makes it, you don't know what you're gonna get. It's like kind of like playing Noita. You don't know what kind of level you're gonna get. Roguelike video game. I really love unpredictability in video games because it means that it makes it a new game almost every time you play, because you don't know exactly what it's going to be like. So a little bit more lifelike, and I really enjoy that aspect of the weather, the unpredictability of the weather in this game and others. This game especially, because they've done, I don't know how many person years was put into this game, but it must have been a lot. From the flight models of all different airplanes to the modeling, the minute modeling of all this stuff. It's like the graphics and the shadows, and then the mapping work and the user interface and all this stuff. It's a lot of work was put into this. Okay, what's that up ahead? Let's see, where are we now? Okay, just flew over Lucia, I think. Let's see. You see it on the right, starboard. Yeah, I think Lucia was back there. I think we flew over it, just past it. And let's see, is that going to be Monterey up there? Let me switch to my. You know what I'm gonna do? That's Big Sur. Okay, you see that thing sticking out, that little mountain sticking out there? That's Point Sur State Marine Reserve, and we're arriving in Big Sur right now. And I think this is where we camped, actually, if I remember right. Let's take a look. I'm gonna try to put let me try to put on the stream a Point Sur State Marine Reserve. Make sure I'm trimmed here so I don't crash while I'll tab out. What's it called? Point Sur State Marine Reserve. Alright. See. Maps. Let's see if we can get a move map. Back with you in a second. Let's just put Big Sur. Maps, please. Google Maps is getting worse. I don't know what's going on with Google, but it's not doing too great these days. The local. I think this is where we're at. let's see if yeah, I think that's it. Take a look. I'll turn that off again. Let's do a little fly here. Fly by. Let's do a little flyby around this thing. It looks like that. What's that castle in France? That's when the tide comes, it's cut off from the mainland. I forget the name. It should be an interesting place to visit as well. That's what it's looking like. Point Sur State Marine Conservation Area. Point Sur State Historic Park right here. It's a little odd from this angle. Eventually I'm going to have to learn to fly one of the jets, the 747 maybe. That's going to be a challenge, and try to land in weird places of that. I don't know how successful I'm going to be to land with a jet in a place that's not like proper runway, but I am going to give it a shot. Probably try Nevada, the Playa, and that airplane test area in was it Davis AFB, Air Force Base? I don't remember where. They had the X-1 first Chuck Yeager, first faster than sound flight, and I want to go visit that area, and it has these huge salt flats where you can. Mont Saint-Michel, that's correct, that's right. Yeah, that looks like Mont Saint-Michel. Thank you, Marcel Beck, very kindly here, co-piloting for me, reminding me of the name of the place I forget. Mont Saint-Michel, let me write that down, maybe I'll go there. Do you have any places that you want me to visit? Other than Rome again? If you do, feel free to make a request, and I'll fly there in one of the next streams. Beautiful Big Sur. A part of this land here, not far from Big Sur, I think called Esalen, was recently returned to Native Americans. It was we're getting a bit of stutter there, a mysterious stutter that happens sometime in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, a place called, a big chunk of a place I think called Esalen was recently returned to the Native American tribe that it originally belonged to by the U.S. government. I don't know what the details were on that, but it was some good news in a world where good news is much needed. I like how you can see, like in the distance there, you can see a bit, like even though I'm not very high right now, you can kind of see how the curvature of the Earth, how the mountains in the distance like get lower. Those are big mountains out there. But if I was in a jet, I could climb very quickly here. We'd be able to see that much more clearly, and eventually I will show you that by flying one of the jets and show you what the clouds look like, a carpet of clouds from high up, which is arguably actually where Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 looks best, is above the clouds, high up, where the satellite imagery really looks photorealistic. And the shadowing, like those are like 3D trees that they render, and they render the shadows on them too, and that makes a huge difference. So that's a weird like thing with that bridge there. I'm not gonna try to see if I try to lots of space. But I bet if I try to fly under that, I would crash, and I don't want that to happen right now, so I'm not going to try. Very beautiful coastline. Shiny day, bright and blue. I wonder if when we get close to San Francisco, we're going to have fog. Very common to find fog in San Francisco. And I wonder if it's going to be foggy there. Okay, this is the, I'm using now the, what's it called, the drone view, and I find it very difficult to control. I wish I could just control the mouse, but it don't let you. They want you to use the keyboard, so, and you have to press a button to disable or enable the flight controls. Right now I have the flight controls disabled, and then I can move the view. If I enable the flight controls, I can control the plane, but then I can't control the view, not even with the mouse. That's really annoying. I wish it would let me control the view of the mouse, even though, you know, I'm flying the plane. I don't know why they don't let you do that. One thing you can do with this view is you can fly over Western France, maybe take off in London and land in like naval base close to Brest. Okay. Alright, so London over France, Western France, and then land in naval base close to Brest. Alright, I'll take a look at that flight plan and I'll write down this is for Marcel Beck, one of my very kind viewers here, and I'll try to do that at some point. Okay, back to the, I was talking about this this drone view. So I can switch to the drone view, but then I have to press I have to press a button to be able to move it view like this, and I have to press the button again in order to control the plane, and I can't use the mouse. I wish I could just use the mouse. I don't know why that's the case. One of the cool things you can do in one second. One thing you can do on the drone view that's really cool, that I wish they also just had a button like in most flight simulators, you can do is this. You can press C to stop, you know. Then I can control the plane from far away and back to it. And you can do flyby views in that case. So yeah, I'm gonna stay away from these mountains because I don't want to crash right now. One second. Those are looking a little bare, aren't they? They look very bare, those mountains there. Is it because it's not rendered yet, I wonder? Or is it because they're really like this in real life, really rocky and bare? Very strange. Look at that. Looks like some sort of testing ground for like a commando force to like ramble to climb up the side of the cliff. Weird. Okay, I don't know where this is, but that one's looks a little less detailed. Maybe I'm approaching Monterey here. Let's take a look at the map. Yeah, I think that's going to be Monterey, Carmel Highlands. Wow, yeah, this is not looking great. Like here, look at this. Is this because my internet connection is not pulling in the data? I'm not sure. Maybe this is Carmel by the sea. Clint Eastwood, so a car broke down, and I think this is it. Clint Eastwood was mayor here for a while, and it's looking pretty bland from this angle here. Some sort of problem. Maybe they sued microcomputer software so that they can't put very detailed data. And that makes me think. So I wonder what happens if, you know, try to land on the Kremlin or the White House or the House of Parliament or some secret military site. So are they on the radar of this? Then what's the situation there? You know, very strange. I think this is Carmel by the sea. When we camped there, most people weren't very nice. They said no. We asked them if we can in their backyard for a night because our car broke down, you know, and they're like, no. but there was a very nice gentleman who's a mechanic, and he towed us, and he didn't want us to pay. He didn't make us pay anything, and he tried to fix the car, but it was an old 1990 Saab, and it needed parts that he didn't have, so we ended up just leaving it there, and eventually we donated it to a charity for the blind or something. I want to get another car one day when I don't have a car, but if we ever have a car one day, I want to make sure that we get something red that looks like that car. Yeah, don't land in New York, you'll be forever banned. I'll try to land. I actually was planning on trying to land on the United Nations. I'm not sure if that may be enough runway for this airplane to work. I've done a flyby of One World Trade Center. I don't think I can land on that. But yeah, you have to. I mean, that brings up something else. I actually was banned from this country for a while. I recently became a citizen, but I had some visa issues before, and they gave me a 10-year ban to do a bunch of paperwork to overturn that. And they still give me trouble every time I come to the airport. Now I don't know. I haven't left since I became a citizen, and after the COVID thing. But I wonder if they'll still give me trouble. I'm in some sort of database. This is Monterey, by the way, I think. Oh no, actually that up there is Monterey, I think. Or maybe this is Monterey, I'm not sure. We stayed in a campground here for a few days. Yeah, I mean, hate is a strong word, but I really strongly dislike any type of national border. And I hope that one day the Earth is going philosophical again here. One day I hope the Earth has no national borders or even nationalities. It just have areas of the world that you can see you're from, and you can go anywhere with a little passport that has a picture of the Earth on it. Picture of our pretty Earth here. So I'm not there actually. I'm in California, so I should careful with my airspeed and careful. I don't want to drop the Earth, so I shouldn't do too many things at once. Yeah, flying over Monterey here. There's the Carmel Highlands. Was this Carmel by the Sea, maybe? Let's take a look. One sec. Yeah, I think up ahead there, I think that's Monterey, I think that's Monterey across there. This is Carmel here. Alright, let's keep going. Have you been to New York, Marcel? If I may ask. You don't have to answer, of course. Even these days of COVID, even LaGuardia is easy to, you can get in a plane quickly there. 3 to 4 times, cool. Yeah, I've been here 5 years now, arrived in 2015. Before that, I had come here for the first time in 2005. I was really mesmerized by the city then, loved it. Still love it, beautiful sort of conglomeration of people from all over the world. But, you know, it's also a big city, so it has all the good and not so good things about big cities. Do you fly flight simulators as well, Marcel? I love flight simulators. It's my first ever flight simulator. I'm gonna show you. Nope, okay. The other video games, not at all. Dude, IL-2 is the original one. Oleg Maddox. I have a poster signed by Oleg Maddox, the developer, and the whole team of IL-2 Forgotten Battles. That was probably 2000 and I don't know, the early 2000s. I love that game. That's still, I mean, the current IO2 is my favorite flight simulator in terms of feeling of flight. Flight is better than this one. The feeling of flight, the feeling of flying the airplane is the best is IO2. It's better than DCS. It's better than this one. Yeah, A10 Cuba. That was a great damage model in that game. You could like lose a landing gear. That's what's missing in this game. This game doesn't have a damage model, you know. I'm gonna do a stream of IO2 tomorrow, or what day is today? Wednesday, and the next probably tomorrow, and show a bit about the damage model, the ballistics of the planes, and the graphics are wonderful too. It's not the current version of IO2. Yeah, I crashed the A10 a lot too. That was, they had that game for Mac as well. That was a very, very tough game. A10 Cuba. Sort of VGA, crisp VGA graphics, bright green, bright blue. I also flew. Yeah, I don't like crashing, but I do like you know, getting a flap shot off, so it's a bit harder to control and still managing to land. That's what I like about a damage model, or landing a bit too hard and bending the landing gears. But I like the World War II air combat games. It's kind of like what I grew up with, so I have a soft spot for those. All right. Where am I? MR. Camry. What's Camry? What? Monterey Regional Airport. Okay, so we are over Monterey. And to our right there, we should see that's the Monterey Regional Airport. Okay, so this is Monterey, so that means that this is Long Bay here, and on the other end is going to be Santa Cruz, I believe. Let's, I'm taking a look at my in-flight map here to see if that's the case. Give you a more interesting view. So yeah, Monterey over here, that's the regional airport, and Santa Cruz is going to be across the bay up there. J.J. Cale, another great guitarist, inspired Eric Clapton, inspired Mark Knopfler. He's probably the best guitarist you might have ever heard about. J.J. Cale has a great song called Santa Cruz. Yeah, MiG-29 Fulcrum. I also played a Su-27 Flanker. That was a tough game. That was a really difficult game. I think it was made by the same developer that makes DCS, Eagle Dynamics, if I remember correctly. Or you know, I think this is the Pier Monterey. Well, maybe one of the piers. I ate great crab here once when we were staying there, or actually another time when we went with Amber's dad and Carrie, and we stayed a night. We were so hungry. Maybe that's why it tasted so good, but I'm sure it was really good. Yeah, my first flight simulator was Falcon 1.0, the original Falcon, the F-16, and IBM, I think 286, maybe it was 386, late 80s, maybe early 90s, I think late 80s. That's where I got the bug. Before that, I did play other games that weren't flight simulators, that were like the control of the airplane. One of them was called River Raid. I'm flying over the Monterey Bay. This is Monterey Bay. I'll show you some photographs right now. Here, the plane seems reasonably trimmed, so here, let me leave you an outside view. Flying over Monterey Bay. And let me go here to my website, and this Monterey Bay Aquarium that I've been to. It's really wonderful sea life aquarium there, and you can see some of the photos I took there years ago.
here. Monterey Bay Aquarium. Make this a little bit bigger. And let's see if it appears in the stream. Just to advertise myself a little bit more. It's the Monterey Bay Aquarium, very wonderful, wonderful aquarium you can visit to see all the sea life that is under these blue waters of the Pacific here, that we are unfortunately treating very badly in most of the world. Fishing, overfishing, and a lot of pollution. So I really hope that people start getting a little bit more conscious about these things in the future. Alright, that's that. I'm gonna turn off the browser and let's get back in the airplane and let's lower our altitude here a little bit. I want to know where I can see my fuel because I think it's up here. Alright, yeah, I think I'm good. I don't really know how to read that, but I think that means, okay, I'm at 23 liters on the left tank. On the right tank, I'm at as well. I think that's what that means. And if that blue thing starts getting low, then we're gonna have to land. So I think I made a tank. I took off a full fuel tank. So hopefully this and according to the interface, it will let me reach Berkeley. For me it was Top Gun, but my dream of being a pilot was killed by being colorblind. Oh, colorblind. I have some friends who are colorblind too. You wanted to be a fighter pilot, huh? I mean, can't you fly light airplanes or ultralights just with being colorblind or not? Is that actually a restriction, I wonder? So I wanted to be a pilot too, but you know, my glasses, I got glasses when I was like 17, and so no more fighter pilot, but probably kind of glad. I don't know if I would have enjoyed being in the Air Force, but maybe. I played Top Gun 2. I think that was in the one that's it's a back view, right? That you're behind the F-14 and you can go around and shoot. Yeah, I think I played that maybe in Nintendo or something. I don't remember. So many great games. If you like that game, there's one called Ace Combat 7, I think it's called. That's like that kind of game with like the follow view action, really good graphics action game. Another little airstrip. And that's I think called Ace Combat 7, or the biggest number that is at now. And that came out I think last year. I haven't tried it, but I heard it's pretty good actually, and it has like a storyline and everything. More like Wing Commander style games. So I do want to try it. And now if I manage to make this my day job, I love these the scratches and stuff you see when you're against like a dark background, you know, because when it goes up to the sky they disappear, but the light has to be reflected from the right angle to like some thumb marks and stuff. Really nice details here on this Savage Cub. Yeah, so like if this becomes eventually my day job, I'm going to be able to say, you know, I'm buying this computer game for work. You know, it's not it's not to play. It's, although I love playing, I think more people should play. Here you go. I'm going to get philosophical again. Watch out. If more people played, spend more time playing, it would be a better world. Flying over Monterey Bay. We passed Monterey a little while ago, and now we're headed to Santa Cruz. Great J.J. Cale song called Santa Cruz. You Google J.J. Cale and Santa Cruz, you'll find a great little rock song with some wonderful guitar, great bass line. It's funny, one of the last things I worked with Milton Glaser, this graphic designer that passed away recently in New York City, was a poster for some sort of festival, like a celebration of 100 or 30 years of a festival, I think in Japan.
It was never finished because the person that was to commission it, things changed. They didn't want to do it anymore. But he didn't make it, and he based the design on those colorblind charts that you have. It's a bunch of circles of different colors, and you have a number in that circle. And if you're colorblind, you can't see the number generally, but if you're not, you see it. I think that's how it works, and there's different ones for different types of colorblindness. I'm not sure what the name of those circles are, but maybe I'll... I'm wondering about putting links to stuff I talk about on stream. I figure out how to put like a URL there. I have to get a system here that it's more easy for me to put links that you can click on. I just do it on chat too. But yeah, let's experiment. This is a good place to experiment, like over the bay here. I have plenty of space, no mountains that I'm going to crash into. This is a good spot here to talk a little bit more about that flyby he was telling me about. So if I'm in the plane and I turn on, I look forward and I turn on not letting me zoom now. I turn on this view, that is the drone view. I block the controls and I press the button that tells you to stop flying the aircraft. It goes away. Then I press the thing that I can control the aircraft again. Then I can do something like this. This is what I miss in this flight simulator. Be able to do. And then I can actually switch to the other view. And then flip back. And then here you go, and you can do a flyby. It's a little bit hard to control because I have to press all these buttons to be able to do that, and I wish it was just one button and I could use the mouse. So I am going to go into the... I noticed that on the update today, there was a message from Microsoft and the Sobo Studio saying, look, thanks so much. I think they realize how popular this game is. They have like gold here in their hands, and they said thanks so much. Please leave feedback and suggestions in this page. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to the forums of the game, and I'm going to leave some suggestions specifically about this drone view that I find very difficult to use. Or I mean, they could even leave it like as it is, but if they at least made a few changes to it, it would be so much better, I think. Maybe I'm just dumb and older and don't get this, but I think I do. I play a lot of flight simulators, and this is the hardest one to control the views, the outside views that I've played. That's a nice little view there. I think I can like Control Alt 8 to save that, or maybe that's only in cockpit, I'm not sure. Let's see, now if I put Alt 8, maybe it was Control Shift. Yeah, I think maybe that's only in cockpit that you can save the view. Alright. Zoom out a little bit. And here we're passing. Let's see what this is. Moss Landing to our right here. This is Moss Landing in the Monterey Bay. Moss Landing State Wildlife Area. Salinas River State Beach. To our right here, the Salinas River State Beach. Some natural wetlands. You can see how California is very... There's a lot of farmland, a lot of development. It's almost like a tragic landscape, California, because it has some of the most beautiful, greatest natural beauty I've ever seen anywhere. Like, for example, the sequoia trees, the redwoods, all the nature, the Big Sur, the beaches, all this wonderful wildlife and nature. But then at the same time, it has these huge, like, dairy farms, like cattle farm, beef farms. No, I don't think they're dairy. I think they're beef farms. There's like, you know, hundreds of, I don't know how many, thousands and thousands and thousands of cows, and I've seen that from a distance, and it made me very sad. It's like there's thousands and thousands of animals, enclosed in these places in mud, basically in muck and their excrement, and that sort of thing. And then the oil fields, and you know the highways, and so you can, like a lot of places that have a lot of development. Like, see, I don't know what city that is. It kind of looks like Mordor from here. That looks like Watsonville, Pajaro, Kolashi town, and Watson Mooney Airport is there. No, maybe it's a nice place. I don't know, but this video game is really making me. I think it might make a lot of people. At least it makes me think. We need to treat this planet better. We need to think of how we're doing things a bit better. And it's a slow process. I mean, there's this organization that I think is based in California. There's a bunch of people that are part of it, including like Brian Eno and stuff like that. It's called the Long Now Foundation. Yeah, I call that Mordor because I mean, look from here. That looks like Mordor, right? Look at that. Looks like some sort of. I mean, I think it's the distance, and it's not really rendering the things of it. It kind of looks like some sort of yeah, that swamp before you get to Mordor. What was that called? I don't remember. But there are parts of California that look like Mordor, like for example Bakersfield, this oil town that looks a little like Mordor. That's yeah, it's the tragedy of you know, isn't that one of the definitions of tragedies? It's something that can I probably should stop talking. Let's look up on dictionary here. Dictionary, tragedy. I get Webster's, okay? And I'll read it for you as we take a look here. A dramatic poem composed in elevated style, representing a signal action performed by some person or persons, and having a fatal issue that specifies that species of drama which represents the sad or terrible phases of character in life. Tragedy is to say a certain story as old as books, making us memory of him that stood in great prosperity, and he is fallen out of degree into misery, and death endeth wretchedly. That's Chaucer. A fatal and mournful event, any event in which human lives are lost by human violence, more especially by unauthorized violence. I mean, is authorized violence better? That's like war, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, I think if we get closer to it, it won't look as much like Mordor. That's because of that bubble that I was talking about, that the video game, you might some angry messages from the town folks about defamation. Yeah, I know, probably. And I don't know how conservative the people are in these parts, but I do know that, for example, Santa Cruz is a very liberal town, but in small towns in California, that's when you have the really angry, sort of more conservative people who, you know, come in with the guns right now, the protests and stuff, and yeah, and I am in the United States of America, so it is a very litigious country, and anything you say can probably will be used against you even if you're not arrested. So I'm treading a delicate ground here, but that's all right. Look at the beautiful green trees and pines over there. This is Santa Cruz, I believe. Let's see where we are. Yeah, this is Santa Cruz. I saw a bunch of seals here once. Looks like there's a CZU lightning complex fire up ahead in real life I'm looking at, but in the video game seems okay. Let's see if I can give you a map view of where we're flying, just so I can keep track of things here in the video game. All right, We are here at Santa Cruz right now, getting close to San Jose. And press that, and you'll see it appear there. Let's see how that's looking on stream. I've never controlled so many different things at once. It's kind of scary. All right, turn that off. Turn the VFR map. Hello Santa Cruz, nice bars here. Nice JJ Cale song. Some surfers. Yeah, I'm going to get more people angry at me, but this time it'll be more left-wing people out of this. You know, some surfers are assholes. They want to make a gang, and they want the beach to be only for them, not for anyone else. And there are these sorts of, this is going to look like a bit of a mortar here too, so it's a distance. But you know, that's why it doesn't matter what political leaning or religion or anything you are. You can be nice or you can not be nice, and it's nice to try to be nice. That's deep, right? Long flight here. I'm going to get defamation messages from the conservatives. I have to do the same for the liberals as well, right? Such weird definitions, conservative and liberal. I mean, conservative, you want to conserve something, you want to keep it as it is, you know, you want to conserve history. Liberal, it's freedom, you want to have more freedom to do stuff, and yet they both like argue for the same things in the end. I mean, not always exactly, but it's so silly that people divide themselves based on these labels and these colors, red and blue, conservative, liberal, Catholic, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, all this stuff. There's labels that we human beings invented. Here I go to the philosophy. I don't know Santa Cruz very well. There's a weird bridge over there. It looks like some sort of like amusement park. It's the Coney Island version of, and there's like some really confused driver there going back and forth by the Coney Island amusement park in Santa Cruz. It's not Coney Island, but there's a confused driver there. I'm a little confused too looking at it from here. Where I'm at 122. There's a little field that I could land on if it's an emergency. Very slow flight up the California coast. Flying over Santa Cruz. How long do you have to go on this thing? Let's see. Alright, I think that's San Jose over here. Here's San Francisco. And we're headed over here, Berkeley. That's going to be the end of our flight. But we're going to keep going. I might do the detour and point straight at it when I start getting closer to 2 hours. Let me increase power here and make sure that I don't know how to fly this plane that well, so I don't know how. I think I was flying pretty fast, a little too fast right on the edge. My throttle here, you can see this. You can see all those things moving when I move this. You know. People, the co-pilot in the back has the control of the throttle too. So this is an airplane that you can teach someone to fly, because someone could be sitting here and they have the stick. They probably have they have the rudder right there, and they have the throttle control that's attached to mine. So two people can fly. Actually, I can hold. I'm empty to out. I can go here to the back seat and see what it looks like from here. And there you go. There's the stick, throttle, and the rudders. And I think this thing here on the right is the flaps. Let's see. Oh. No, I guess this is not animated. What was? Oh no, this here. I think is this to open the? Maybe this is. This is to open the. Where is the flap? Look, there's like a padlock there. I didn't even see that. I wonder what that's about. Yeah, go back into the. I think you can fly multiplayer in the same plane already or not. I don't know, because I have a friend of mine, Raspo. He loves him and another friend of mine, a friend of his that I met him through him, Mojo. They've flown before, like I think like a transatlantic flight, in the same cockpit. Like one is navigator, the other one is co-pilot. I prefer having my own plane, I think, but who knows? You know, it could be fun. Fly two people in the same plane. You take turns flying. Like one, you know, goes to the bathroom, gets a drink or something, and the other one takes over flying the airplane or is navigating, looking where you are. So I can totally see the appeal of that, especially since when I have to, you know, if I'm having to control the camera here to try to give you a good view, and at the same time show you like press a button to show you the map of more or less where we are and all this stuff, and fly the plane at the same time, it's a lot of work, and having a co-pilot with who controls something else would be nice. Maybe Mazu, this other friend of mine who lives in London, expressed an interest in flying together as well and talking about cities. So maybe we're going to do that in the future. Maybe, I'm not sure if you can already fly in the same plane at the current state of this game. You can fly in different planes for sure. I've done that with Mojo already. But that would be fun. I can totally see how it's a, you know, a nice way to hang out and fly over an area and talk about it. This plane is so slow, I know. It's 200 kilometers per hour here. A really fast car would go faster than this. But since it's so slow, it does let me land in unusual places, like St. Peter's Square yesterday, and today I'm going to try to land on a little, if I can find it, a little field by the cooperative house, the playground where I used to live. I'm going to say hi to Mario and to Margot. I don't know, I'm not sure where Peter lives now in the Bay Area, but maybe he's not far away. And maybe they have a fire. Well, it's what time is it in California right now? Is there a clock on this plane? I don't even know. Do I have it in that GPS? I don't think so. It's funny, there's no clock. Yeah, you gotta bring your own clock, or maybe there is one and I don't know where it is. Maybe I have to click some of those buttons, but I'm not gonna mess with any of this stuff. But I think it's probably about 11:30 or something, so they're not gonna be having a fire in the yard. When we lived there, there was a fire pit, and it was a turn of the century house. It was built in like 1903 or something. I think right before that big earthquake in San Francisco. And it survived the earthquake. And old wooden house, 4 stories. We lived in the top floor, and there was these big old beautiful skylights. Once a raccoon appeared there and scared the hell out of me. I was trying to get in the skylight and scratching. And so I had this, one of the only, I think, there was a redwood trees in that part of North Oakland, South Berkeley. And a big backyard, so we could have a fire pit, and at night we could make fires and cook over the fire. It was really lovely. Some parties, smoked a lot of magic things, fun times. I can't wait to visit California. I can't wait to go and cat sit for Margot, visit the playground, visit SF, visit my friend Frankie. Frankie is, I'm not going to fly by him today because it's not in the flight plan, and I have to find out exactly where his house is, even though he sent me the address. But he's in a place I think called Morgan Hill, which I think is just east of where I'm flying now, across San Jose, up in those hills there. Not far from Palo Alto, where Apple is, where those software companies are. Let's keep an eye on our fuel here. How are we doing? Down to 15, just under 15 liters now. How about this one? Can I go up? Yeah, I wonder if I'm gonna run out of fuel before I get there, because maybe I haven't managed it well. Maybe I had to keep the speed less. Maybe I had to work with this choke lever. What does this do anyway? I'm not even sure. Well, if I don't make it, I'll land, and I'll. I mean, should I land and refuel? I haven't tried doing this yet. Maybe I should do that because I'm a little worried about this fuel gauge. It's what's the maximum? Let's see. Maximum is 45. I'm down. Yeah, it's getting kind of low. A little worried about that. Maybe I'll land and I'll try to. I've never done this in this video game. You can land and refuel, so I'm gonna call nearest airport list. We're getting a little bit of a freeze here. Booney Dune Village, alright. There is that. CL77 is not appearing here. I think that wasn't that where I took off from? The San Jose airport here. And I'm gonna keep flying for a bit longer. I have more fuel still, but I do want to. I might have to land at an airfield to refuel that I haven't done before. I'm gonna have to talk to ground control, ask them to refuel the plane, and then take off again and continue. But let's see how that goes. All right. And right now, I'm gonna turn around, get some water. I had my iced coffee here. I have 2 coffees a day, one in the morning, breakfast, and one after lunch to keep me going. It's a humid day in New York City, even though it's cloudy. And so I'm hot as hell in this shirt and tie with an undershirt too, so I don't have to wash the shirt as often because it's my only white shirt. I did not iron this. I should learn how to iron it better and start doing that. But I never wear a shirt and tie in real life, so this is a treat for any of my friends that might come and watch. I'm doing it specially for you, and so try to show. Look at this pretty. This is a nice little image. And the screenshot of that. We do another one because the little. So when you move the mouse, this little thing here, when you pray to the gods of usability, and you put your mouse to the top of the screen, this wonderful little menu appears. It's one of my favorite things in this game in terms of usability. But I want to take a screenshot without that, so I'm going to release the mouse, wait a little bit so it disappears, and now about there, I'm going to take a screenshot. Let me do it one more time because my mouse cursor was there. There you go, that's pretty nice. Pretty little yellow plane of the hearts. Flying over, let's see what this is called now. Now this is Butano State Park, I believe. West of San Jose, there's currently a fire here, the CZU Lightning Complex fires in real life, according to Google. Here, I'll see if I can that show it. Let's see, this show it's on the stream there. Yes, so see, there's this fire apparently there right now. Ooh. And I don't know if I don't think Imato's fire smoke the game right now. Oh, CL77, that's where that airfield was. But here we are in what was it called? Butano State Park, temporarily closed probably because of the fire. Southwest of San Jose. I think I have a friend of mine, a sister of my friend as well. We're in the same class together when I was in school in Tunisia, in North Africa, when I was in middle school. Gigi, I think Gigi lives in San Jose. So if you do, hello Gigi. One day I'll maybe fly by there. I have to fly by Mo's house in Cyprus too, at some point, and say hi. And I should actually call him in real life because I said I would recently, and I haven't yet. But yep, not too far from San Francisco now. Let's. I'm gonna turn. I'm actually gonna stay on the coast because I want to go by the Golden Gate. That's the first thing I want to go in San Francisco. But San Jose to the right here. It's San Jose. It's basically. It's so built up, and then Palo Alto, Mountain View, where you have Apple around there. It goes all the way up to built-up area that goes on Highway 101 or something. Oh, 101, yeah. Goes all the way up to San Francisco. So it's a very built-up area, but there's a lot of beautiful nature as well. All these state parks. An outside view. Let's try to get a little bit of height here. Try to climb. And I think that you notice when I'm in the outside view, you can see both pilots in there. Inside view you can't, but there is a button to toggle them, but I don't know what it is. I think I pressed it by mistake once and the pilots appeared, but I don't know what that button is anymore. And what I really should do, and actually I'm going to make a note to do that right now. I'm going to print here. I'll leave it outside view here. Flying over Western California, approaching San Francisco from the south. I have like a little clipboard here. I'm gonna make a little square, little shaded square. I'm gonna put a note to print out MSFS 2020 flight keyboard controls. That would help, and I'm gonna pin it up here. One day I'm gonna show you where I'm talking to you from here. Not today. I have to make it look a little bit better. It's very haphazard right now, but I should really have keyboard controls for this game and other video games I play in front of me here. I have to become, since I'm dressed up for it, I have to act a little bit more professionally. Another interesting thing about this little airplane is. And maybe this is why you can't go faster than 200 miles an hour. So if you get into that red there, the plane falls to pieces. It doesn't show it, but that's what I guess happens. Or maybe one of the reasons for that, if you look up, see there's nothing here. There's nothing above me. It's like plexiglass above the wing. So you have this wonderful visibility, but how strong can this thing be, you know? Look at that. It's those metal bars there are what hold the wing together. It's pretty crazy. Like you have a completely clear view of the top of the plane. Wonderful for visibility, but a little worrying for the. I wonder what these little hooks are. See these little hooks here? I wonder what those are too. Savage Cub approaching San Francisco from the south. Great Pacific Ocean to our west here. And slowly running out of fuel. Let's see, let's keep an eye on that. Oh, what's this? I haven't seen this before. Okay, some buttons. I don't know if those are even buttons or what they do, but fuel. Oh man, down to 10, almost at 10 liters. I'm not liking that. I wonder if I'm reading that right, but I think I'm gonna have to land and refuel before we get to Berkeley. So let's take a look again at let's open our airport map here. Let's tune into ATC and see if there's any airports close by. Back. Nearest airport list. Still Booney Dawn Village. I have to. Half Moon Bay. Where is that? I'm gonna look that up real quick. Half Moon Bay, HAF map. Eddie Andreini Airfield. Hey, I don't know where Rico is. The airfield named after him over here. Eddie, ciao. Okay, that's just up ahead, I think. You see that? All right. Select running for landing. Outlook 12. And I'm gonna announce full stop landing. Announce position.
Charlie Lima 77 traffic Lovely Bird 117 miles northwest 3,900 feet inbound to land runway 12.
Getting a little bit of a freeze here. Maybe because I'm talking to traffic control and it freezes up a little bit and it comes back. Weird. Maybe there's no tower in this airport, or maybe I have a setting that's maybe there's no services in this airport. That would be a bit of troublesome.
Charlie Lima 77 traffic Lovely Bird 118
Miramar Air Force Base, I think, over there. Is that where that is? That Miramar? Maybe that's Miramar up ahead. I'm just gonna have to learn on its Air Force Base. Let's see, what else do you have? They have like Miramar. I don't think they let you land in military bases, maybe. I don't know, but I'm getting worried about this fuel level here. I've lowered down the throttle. I'm at just over. I'm having trouble reading this too because once it says 15. Okay, I'm at 15 liters, I think. I wonder if there's a way for me to select the tanks. No idea. 20. Well, we're gonna find out. If I need to land somewhere, I'm just gonna have to land wherever I can. If I run out of fuel, and then I'm gonna have to remember to. I was rushing a bit today before the stream because I was doing something else, and I wasn't well prepared. So, given how unprepared I was, I'm surprised I made it this far. But so if I don't make it, that's why I wasn't paying attention to how much fuel I had for where I wanted to go. But we're almost at San Francisco, right over those mountains there in the distance. You can see the bay there. That's the Bay Area. That's the bay that opens the Pacific through the Golden Gate Bridge, which is going to be a few more miles ahead. I don't remember if the Miramar Air Force Base is this or it's by LA or just two Miramars, but there is apparently another airfield up here called Eddie Andreini Senior Airfield. I think it's around here. And if it's there, I'm gonna just come in for landing, and if they don't answer, I'm gonna just do if I can even get there, I'm gonna do a low pass. See if there's some vehicles, some refueling vehicles, and if there are, I'm gonna just try to land and ask very nicely if they can refuel my airplane. Let me get my ears cool here a bit. A lot of time sitting, so let's walk around. Get up. You'll get up a little bit. Be right back. You see, I can't do that in the airplane, but here, I'll talk about another book while I'm here. I'll be back 1 second. Find it right now. I don't want to be gone too long in case I crash. But there's this. See, I can't just. If I was in a real airplane, I obviously couldn't get up and just stretch my arms. And I read a book recently by Roald Dahl. It's the second part of his autobiography, I think, called "Going Solo," about him learning to fly in the Second World War to join the Royal Air Force in the Mediterranean. And Roald Dahl was very tall, and he said it was really difficult to do long flights in the small airplanes because he had to keep his legs bent up and his legs cramped really bad, and it's crazy. That's why to be a pilot, it helps if you're short. The best pilots are short and stocky. If you're tall, you're in a lot of discomfort. But he still did it, and it's really a wonderful, very short and very well written. Deceptively simple book, Roald Dahl, Going Solo. I enjoyed it a lot. It's Amber's book that she read when she was a kid, I think, or very young. And recently, oh, there's the airfield. That's Eddie Andreini Senior Airfield, domestic airport. Let's see if they reply to my hails now. I think it's this one. I'll just declare runway 30.
Kilo Hotel traffic, lovely bird, 17 miles southeast of
7 miles from
4,100 feet inbound to land
that
runway
little
tree
thing
0.
here. Maybe I have to, maybe they'll only reply if we have to change to a different thing, I don't know. Okay, Half Moon Bay, alright, here we go. Let's, gonna pull the throttle down. You see how fast my airspeed when I put my nose down? Look how fast the airspeed goes. I'm putting my nose down. Look how fast it climbs. If it gets in that red for too long, game over. So have to really watch the airspeed of these little light airplanes. Okay, let's get to the tachometer, putting the throttle up a bit. And as soon as I get a little bit closer, I'm gonna say I'm on final, and I'm gonna land, see if they can refuel me, tuning to ground services. If they can't, I'm gonna take off again and try to make it over those mountains there into San Francisco. I think in the distance there, yeah, I think that's the Bay Bridge. There's the Golden Gate right in the distance. You can barely see it there. I think that's the Golden Gate Bridge. But if I look over here, my fuel is at 10 liters, getting very low. And I don't want to run out of fuel before I get there, so I'm going to try. I've never done this before. I'm going to try to refuel at Eddie's airfield here, which in this video game is known as Half Moon Bay Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot. I'm at 1:46 at the stream, and almost 2 hours in. Running out of fuel. Have come up from San Simeon State Park, up on the west coast of California, next to the Pacific Ocean, up by Big Sur, by Carmel by the Sea, by Monterey, by Santa Cruz, various state parks, and now approaching this little airfield to refuel before we hop over to try to refuel. I don't know if they have ground services here. I hope they do. And I've never done this before, but to try to refuel before we hop over these mountains. I think these are called the Rancho Corral de Tierra mountains, or I don't know what the San Andreas Lake on the San Andreas Fault. So they built San Francisco on a big earthquake fault, and hopefully that won't cause too many problems too soon. And yeah, lost track. That's where I am. That's what I'm doing. I have some very kind people here that have talked to me. Marcel Beck. A couple of other viewers were there. I'm not sure they're silent. That's all right. I'm very glad to have people coming with me in this trip, even if I just provide a radio for your day. I try to keep talking. I'm gonna try to get better at it, but it's you know, just flying the airplane. At night, I play more action-oriented video games. During the day, I like flying. But I will be playing some action-oriented games here too. All right, let's try. Select running for landing. I think it's gonna be what? It's gonna be 1.8. It's gonna be 30. No, I think it's gonna be 12. I'm not sure. Let's do this one. Announce full stop landing. Announce on final. Let's go.
Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic, lovely bird 1 is on final runway 12 to land.
I'm not sure this is the right airfield, but I'm gonna keep trying. Let's see. Back. Back, back, try that. Or maybe it's not. Alright, let's start going for landing. Let's try 30. Let's try again. I'm in the downwind leg, I think.
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic, lovely bird 1 is on downwind runway tree 0.
Don't want to talk to me, this air traffic control. Maybe my volume is all the way down or something for the communications. But oh yeah, there you go. There's some airplanes there. There's like a little truck that looks like there's some services. Let's see if I can spot a windsock here to see the wind direction. There's a windsock. Okay, wind. Well, it's a crosswind, not very strong, coming from the east. It looks like. So I'm just gonna see. This is running runway 12. So is this even the right airfield? Let's see. Back. Start running for landing. 12. There we go. Okay. Announce. I'm just gonna go final.
Kilo Hotel Alpha
I shouldn't have
Foxtrot
done this, but I
traffic,
should
Lovely
never,
Bird
you should
1
never
is on final
overfly the
runway
airfield like
12 to
this at
land.
the low air in real life. But these people are not talking to me, so I'm just gonna try to land, to go in for landing and see if I can then tune into ground control when I'm there, and if they will refuel my airplane for me. I don't have pay anything, frankly, because it's a video game. But I think if it was the real world and I had to pay something, it would still be pretty cheap right now given the price of oil. Let's see. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put the flaps down. Look back, double check. Yep, they click down straight away. Make sure coming in pretty steeply here, but this airplane has such a low landing speed. It almost looks like we're flying in slow motion here. So we're okay. And you know what? I'm gonna land further down the runway because I want to be as close as possible to that service area so we can refuel and then take off quickly again and reach the San Francisco Bay Area. There's the windsock. A couple of them, one on the other side. It's a bit of it's a crosswind, very light wind coming from the west. And it's a very light, slow-moving airplane, so the wind is pretty strong actually. Maybe that's why it feels like I'm flying slow motion here this direction, because I feel like it's a very strong wind here. I don't know if I click the button that slow down the speed of the simulation. I think you can do that too, but I don't know if you can do it with live traffic or not. But very little. Look how slow this is. There we go. Let's hope to touch a little bit of a bounce. That's all right. We have landed at Andreini Airfield, and now let's see if it helps, if it lets me tune to ground control. Oh. Tune traffic. They don't even have ground control here. There's something going on here. I'm not sure. Let's try to get close to them and see. I'm just going to cheat here and go right across the airfield. It might be a bug. It might be most likely that I'm doing something wrong. But I'm going to get close to what looks like a service area for these airplanes and see if they'll give me an option on their air traffic menu, on that communications menu, to get someone to ground control to refuel my little airplane. I haven't flown that airplane yet. I don't know if that's available. I don't know. I wonder if all these airplanes here are the ones that are available in the sim. I think so. There's a Cessna. I think it's a 172 Skyhawk. I need to try some of these twin engine ones. All right, slow down. And I'm gonna ask for ground services now. I'll park right next to this other Cessna here and ask the ground services to... Oh, there's a fuel truck right here. Let's park next to this one. Maybe here they'll refuel if I come to a full stop. Let's see. Here you go. Oh, a little bit of a bounce. Set the brakes. Let's try again. Let's see if... now it's clear of the runway.
Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic, Lovely Bird 1 is clear of the runway.
Okay, I don't think they have ground services here. They don't.
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic, Lovely Bird 1 is clear of the runway.
Yeah, they don't seem to have ground services. Let me take a quick look. Sorry about this, but I'm going to take a quick look at the controls and see if there is communications, a radio control for asking them to refuel. Oh, so many controls in this video game to drive you nuts. Miscellaneous maybe. Okay, here you go. Toggle fuel pump. Okay, that's in the airplane, I think. Alt P. Okay, toggle pushback, request fuel. Okay, Shift F. Let's try that. Shift F. Let's see what happens. Shift F. Nothing seems to be happening. Oh, is the truck moving? I think it's moving. Look at that. Oh. I think it's moving. Okay, let's look at my fuel level. Here comes the fuel truck. This is cool. They're actually animating this. Okay, I'm at about 20 liters. Okay, it's moving around. Maybe it's gonna come to the back of the plane to actually do it. Okay, I'm about 15. Is it going up now? Or is it because I changed altitude? Let's see from the outside. Is it coming by me, this thing? Okay, here's the fuel truck. That's pretty cool. 156. Let's refuel. Okay, oh, do I have to turn off the engine? Oh, here you go. Nice. This just came up. It didn't touch anything. All right, let's put it. I'm pretty close now, so let's put it about 65 on the left main and 65 on the other one. And a consumption in CO2 emission. That's pretty cool. And do I click? I guess reset now. Okay. Did they refuel? I don't know. Yes, I think they did. Okay, I think I just closed it then. Hey, and that's it. All right, that's pretty awesome. So the fuel trunk comes by. All right, there's no ATC here. Maybe there's a mute person in the ATC. They can't speak. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to announce takeoff. First announce taxi. Let's go. Thank you very much, Andreini Airfield, for the fuel. I'm going to taxi to the runway and get out of here. Let's go. You don't have to worry about crashing to these little... I don't need the flaps to take off. This plane is so slow, it'll take off easily. You don't crash into these little lights if you hit them in this game. The damage modeling on those is not... oh, look at that. It is not modeled. Unlike in GTA, which you'll see tonight, that is modeled. Okay, let's just go right across this because I'm in a bit of a hurry. I'm at 1 hour 57 minutes. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a playground, and I still have to cross this these mountains to get to Berkeley. There's a chance I might have to stop mid-flight, but I don't think so. So let's just keep going here and let's go. I'm gonna take off into the wind. Generally not a good idea, but since it's been so small and light and I have so much space here, thank you Andreini Airfield for fueling me. It's a bit of a, is that a helicopter landing pad or is that some sort of like marker to help airplanes see where they're going? Do a little shake of the wing to the tower to thank them, and let's continue. I'm just gonna keep going towards the Golden Gate. Maybe we'll end at the Golden Gate today, who knows? Not sure. 2 hours. Will I be able to do this every day? Maybe not just Microsoft. There's gonna have to be some different video games too. Unless I start reading a book or something, because I'm gonna run out of things to say. Maybe I'll even think of even more things to say, who knows? Let's climb now that we have more fuel. Let's put some power in. Climb straight up. I have this little goal on the bottom right. You can see I want to try to get to 50 followers for the end of the month. Hopefully more than that. Maybe we need to start playing some Fortnite or some, what's that, Fall Guys or these other popular games, the ever popular Fortnite. But tonight I am playing some GTA. You can tune in later. I think at 7 o'clock, if I remember right. Maybe joined by a friend, may not, I'm not sure, but I will be playing GTA online tonight. If you want to join, tune in for that. Let's make this little, my kind-hearted Savage Cub airplane fly higher. And I think we're not too far here from San Francisco. A little bit of ways to go still, actually. So I may actually leave this here, land again and leave this here, because I don't think I'm at 2 hours. That was my limit for this thing. I think I'm going to have to get to Berkeley on another try, but I'm not going to stop while I'm in the air. I'm going to land somewhere. Let's see where we have that's interesting to land over here. Daly City, not great. Well, I'm really not that far. This is Lindamar up here, Pacifica, a little bit further ahead. Oh, Paulo bonitinho, fofinho, gatinho. Talking to my cat, I speak to him in Portuguese. That's the San Francisco Bay over the mountains there. This little area here, this is Lindamar. I guess it's a little sort of suburban town on the mountains to the southwest of the city. Maybe we'll land in the city somewhere. We'll land in Market Street today, and then on the next flight I'll take off from Market Street and head to the playground to Berkeley. Or should I just hang on and keep going to Berkeley all the way? My one viewer could probably just my friend keeping it on, I'm not sure. But I have maybe my one viewer would want to say what they want me to do or not. But for now, I'm going to I'll keep going a bit longer. There is a button I think I can give to my autopilot, my artificial intelligent autopilot over here. But I don't remember what that is. Maybe it was Alt X or something. Is that it? Let's see, Alt X. Is that the Control X? Oh yeah, it's Control Alt X I think. But I don't know what my autopilot is going to do because I didn't do a flight plan. So I'm just going to have to keep going here. And there is, it's going to start getting a little more excited because you see that's a big tower near San Francisco. I forget the name. Tower San Francisco. What's that called? There's the San Fran Tower. But that's not the one I'm talking about. Let's see. It's the Salesforce Tower now it's called. It used to be the Transamerica Pyramid, I think it was called. No, the Salesforce, a new one. That wasn't there when I was there. There's the Golden Gate Bridge in the distance. What else do we have? I'm looking down. Comms Tower, SF, what the heck is that called? The Sutro Tower. So that big thing you see over there, that's the Sutro Tower. Wikipedia wants me to donate to them. I should. I know it's a good idea. It's a 977-foot, almost 300 meters, three-pronged TV and radio antenna tower in San Francisco, California, rising from a hill between Twin Peaks and Mount Sutro. You can see from far away the city is rendered in a very blocky, mortarish, weird manner. But there's the San Francisco International Airport. I've landed there in real life before. Daly City. And coming over into the city now. San Francisco, California. Not looking. I like when there's a bit of fog and when it's good weather here. It's more interesting, I think. But it is a very bright, sunny day. I'm just gonna fly in, I think, and I'm gonna fly. I'm going to land in the city itself and leave. I think I'll leave Berkeley for the next one. Who knows? I'm gonna undo my tie here. It's a little bit too hot. Start undressing here. Wow. It's like some sort of big shopping mall or or like a manufacturing plant or something. This is suburbia, American suburbia. Here's all the cars, all that movement, all that concrete. Coming over San Francisco, approaching San Francisco from the south. We'll cross over the Bay. We'll find that little airfield by Berkeley and we'll land there. All right, let's just do it. That's what I said I was gonna do. I said I was gonna go to Berkeley, so I'm gonna go to Berkeley. Need a snack. Here, I'm gonna go get a snack while we're flying here. Hopefully the plane is trimmed enough that it won't crash. Looks pretty stable right now. You know, a little bit of chips or something to keep me going here. Another glass of water. Back in a sec. Hopefully my plane's still flying. Animal car. Approaching San Francisco. The Sutro Tower. Never knew the name of that tower I lived in. Alright. Got some chips. Which I'm going to be talking a lot about chips soon because I'm going to fly into the Grand Canyon. That's where I realized that chips have a special place in my life. I love chips. It's a nice way to get some salt in your body. Here, speaking of salt, here's Sutro Tower. Big TV communications thing. Spire, the west of San Francisco, that kind of looks Mordorish from this position as well. The rendering, I think, if I increase the settings, for buildings, rendering of buildings in the graphics end of the game, it'll look better when you're further away like this. But it also may just be taking a while to load from the internet connection. Who knows? There's so many variables in this microcomputer software Flight Simulator 2020 that you just don't know exactly what everything does. That's what San Francisco looked like from this distance in the Flight Simulator. We're going to do a pass over the Golden Gate. No fog, so here's the park. Haight-Ashbury is down there, I think. I think that's Haight-Ashbury around maybe that corner. I think that's Haight-Ashbury where there are a lot of hippies and the Grateful Dead used to live there, I think, or play there. And the Fillmore West is not too far from here, around there somewhere, where I saw Buddy Guy play. And many great films. View to a Kill was filmed. Roger Moore and Christopher Walken fought over the Golden Gate Bridge here. It's another reference to James Bond. James Bond, you know, they go around the world. I talked about Jaws and Roger Moore fighting in the Pão de Açúcar in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And they also, not Jaws, but Christopher Walken and Roger Moore fought on the Golden Gate here, and probably in some TV studio as well, rendition of it in San Francisco, in A View to a Kill, probably my favorite James Bond. Roger Moore is my favorite James Bond, not Sean Connery and not the new guy. And everyone likes Sean Connery. Of course, Sean Connery is great, but my favorite, has a special place in my heart, is Roger Moore. There's Alcatraz, there's the Bay Bridge, Transamerica Tower, I guess something they call the Salesforce Tower now, because I guess that's a big thing in the world today. There's some sort of maybe a natural gas container ship. Sausalito just over the Golden Gate. across the bay. I'm not gonna go under the bridge because as I've been talking about, you crash if you go in Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you try to go under a bridge, you just crash into an invisible wall, or a visible wall if there's one there. So I'm not gonna fly over it. I'm just gonna fly near it and by it, and I'm going to now swing right. And here we go into the San Francisco Bay Area. Yay, over the Golden Gate, into San Francisco Bay. Let's make sure to keep an eye on our speed there, because we don't want this very fragile little airplane to just show you the Microsoft menu of death instead of falling to pieces. I'm gonna do a crazy, I think this was a little airfield in the 20s or 30s, maybe even the Second World War, this little thing. So I'm going to touch down there real quick just to say hi. I'm going to do a touch and go, and then I'm going to keep flying over the coast, maybe past that little lighthouse looking tower. I forget the name of that one. And then maybe fly right by Transamerica Market Street. Then I'm going to cross over the Bay Bridge into Berkeley. Oh, here, let's do a little touch and go here. I think this is the one. I think this was it. Little quick touch and go on, I forget, was it Crissy Field or something? I forget the name of this this airfield here. Little quick touch and go. There's the touch and full power, and let's go. Touch and go. Oh, touch and go. Okay, let's keep flying. This was like some sort of Jewish temple or something, or Buddhist temple, or Muslim temple, I don't know, some sort of temple is over here. There's the Sutro Tower in the distance, flying low over San Francisco, the marina. There's Alcatraz again. We're not too far from Lombard Street here, where there was these streets here. There was very steep streets of SF. There was a movie called Bullet with Steve McQueen. My motorcycle club in Grand Theft Auto Online is called the Steve McQueens, in honor of the actor, and of the particular movie Bullet. This car chase that was really great was filmed here in the streets of San Francisco. I think Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, you could get to San Francisco and also do some crazy jumps on the streets. Maybe they'll add San Francisco in an update to GTA 5, who knows, I hope they do. Okay, here we are over San Francisco, California. Here's that tower that I forgot the name of. Let's reduce power. Is this it? No, it's up there. Yeah, it's directly ahead. Yeah, I think Lombard Street is right. I'm probably flying right over right here. I think that's yeah, there's Lombard Street. Hey, Lombard Street at 213. All right, Lombard Street. Let's keep going. There's the crazy tower. What was it? 213. Let me write this down because I'm doing this for the highlights later. Right, Lombard Street's down. Let's go turn to the right here, fly past the tower that I forget the name of. This sort of little weird thing near the piers where you can have nice crab, nice clam chowder. Very beautiful city. Very historic city, built on a fault line. Hopefully it won't have another big earthquake soon. I'll knock on my head, I'll knock on wood, on the wood of my table. Transamerica Tower, North Beach around here, some really nice bars. The Beat authors, the guy that wrote forget his name right now, but Jack Kerouac, I think, wrote the forward to Robert Frank's great film, The Americans. He used to hang out in a bar here, I think. Nice to be by San Francisco again, even in those digital world. I do want to come back here soon in real life. You can see some traffic on the streets down there. Where's Market Street? I think it's up here. Market Street usually ends in that clock tower that's in a pier down here, I think. Where is that? There it is. I think that's the clock tower. It's I don't know if that's Pier 1 or 2 or what, but that's the clock tower. There's the Bay Bridge. I've spent some time with Frankie over here. I'm looking everywhere because I need to keep an eye on the airspeed to make sure this plane doesn't disappear from the sky. Here's the clock tower, so Market Street. We're going to be looking right down it. Let's turn into Market Street real quick. Whoa, it looks like a collapsed building. It's that weird building right in downtown San Francisco. I think this is Market Street right here. Coming right into Market Street, there's a U.S. bank symbol. Flying a little bit dangerously here. I don't think the wings of this plane fit right on Market Street, so let's, or it was that Market Street, I'm not sure. Let's try to keep our bearings here, make sure that we don't crash. Alright, and I'm going to turn around. Oh, I think, what was it, like the Mission is up there. That flying towards the Mission. Great Mexican food, some fun bars. There's, I think, City Hall. Was that City Hall? I don't remember. Maybe Union Square is not far from here. I think, where's Union Square? Not sure. Gonna have to leave that one for next time because I want to get over to the bay to land in Berkeley, near the playground, where I used to live for a while. Looking south to Daly City, in the distance there, San Francisco International Airport. This is, I think, Highway 1 that leads to the Bay Bridge. And yeah, SF. Clear day, no fog. Probably about midday there, or 1 in the afternoon, I'm not sure. But there's the Golden Gate. Sausalito, the Redwoods not far from there. Very beautiful city this. Lots of container ships coming from China, from Japan, from Asia, from everywhere. Going to the port of Oakland across the bay there. And there's the Oakland Airport. And let's follow this bridge in. Let's get back in and keep an eye on my airspeed. And oh, careful. That was a little too fast. Let's pull up a little bit. Get down on the throttle. And let's fly into Berkeley and try to land by that school, that field near the playground. Let's see if we can find that this time. All right. Just talking to myself here, but that's all right. It's good practice. Bay Bridge. I think there was this famous photograph in that earthquake in was it the 90s or 2000s, that there was a section of this bridge that had fallen and a car was right by it or something, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't remember the name of this island here, but I think there's a little tunnel and then it comes out the other side. I've driven with my friend Frankie over this bridge quite a few times, and I've taken the BART under the Bay Area Transit System. Bay Area Transit. It goes under the bay, I think, underwater into the city from Berkeley many times too. So let me put alright, let's take I'm just double checking my map here where Shattuck Avenue is to see if I can spot it from the air. And I'm going to land in Bushrod Park. That's what I'm looking for. I want Bushrod Park, which is near the playground. Let's see if I'll be able to find it this time. I tried it in a mini stream earlier. I actually removed it because I didn't think it was a bit haphazard. This one's a bit haphazard too, but I have been flying for 2 hours from San Simeon National Park up the coast, past Big Sur, Monterey, Santa Cruz, here into the city, over San Francisco, past the Golden Gate, and now approaching Oakland, where I lived for some years. Hello, Mama's Cafe, if you're still there. One of the best places to eat breakfast that I've ever eaten in my life. Hello, Piedmont Bakery, combo number 3. Never forget you either with the JRB. Working on our laptops, having breakfast. And, alright, 219 Bushrod. I'm looking for Bushrod Park. I have my secondary computer screen here. I'm just going to follow this highway, I think. And on the edge of it, when it starts turning towards the Temescal Regional Recreation Area, I'm going to instead keep going straight. And then I should be over Shattuck Avenue if the game doesn't slow down too much here. There's a lot of stuff being loaded. It has these mystery slowdowns in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know, usually it's going really 60 frames per second, and all of a sudden it slows down. I don't know why. But here I am coming. I'm going to keep going straight here. Follow this road. This is 580, I think, on the bottom here. And I'm going to keep going and try to find Bushrod Park and land on it. So here we go. I think this is where I had mistake. I had turned left too soon previously, and that's how I had missed it. I think I already see it actually. I think that's Bushrod Park right there. Babe, I think the playground's coming up. Yep, I think I saw the playground. I think I saw the playground. I think that's where we're gonna land right there. But let's do a low pass first. Approaching North Oakland, South Berkeley. My little lovely bird 000-001 approaching Bushrod Park, the playground. After many years visiting it digitally, I do want to visit in the real world again very soon. Very soon. All right, let's really cut down power completely almost. That's the playground right there. That big tree, you see, that's covering it. It's the biggest tree in the area. That Shattuck Avenue there, that's probably poor air. Trying to see if I can see like a roof at least or something. I'm pretty sure that's it. Maybe mistaken, I'm not sure. No. I was pretty sure, but it's so weird to fly over in this game because it models the buildings differently. They don't look just like they do in real life. That's a swimming pool by it now. I don't remember that around there. But anyway, let's land at Bushrod Park and call this a flight because oh no, I was looking wrong. I think is this Bush? Now I'm totally confused. All right. Yeah, it looks so strange. I think that it's that one there. Okay, let's land on it and see. It's a very confusing area. There's a lot of because I think this is a brand. I've never seen this before. This is from after our time, I think. This stadium over here. All right, reduce power. There we go. I really wish I could tell if this was the one. It looks very small. I don't know if I'll be able to land there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this one instead. Decisions. Okay. Take one more look at the Google map. Zoom in a bit. Okay, there's that big thing there. Okay, I think I'm gonna land there. I think that little parking lot is my best bet. Now, very likely crash. Forget the name of this market. I think it was here by this train station that was not far from on the playground. I look from high up, see if I recognize something here. I was sure I saw the playground from the angle, but maybe it wasn't it. If I fly higher. Yeah, this is the most trouble I've had. Oh, that's where it is. Okay, that's it. That's what's confusing me. Okay, it's that side of this highway. That's it. Okay. I got totally disoriented because these are other sports fields, but that right there is Bushrod Park, and that right there in the center of the screen right now, those where there's the most clump trees there in the center of the screen, that's the playground. So I think I'm actually gonna land on Shattuck Avenue and right by the playground. That's it. Got it. All right, that was confusing. It can be easy to get disoriented. At least there's it's a beautiful day. There's no clouds. I would like to be some clouds so make it a little more interesting. But here we are, flying by the playground, Shattuck Avenue, North Oakland, right in the border between North Oakland and Berkeley. There was a meteor or some piece of ice, heavy ice that fell and put a hole in the Bushrod Park once, and we never found out what that was. There's the playground. Ciao, Margot. Hello, Margot. Hello, Mario. Lots of trees around. There's a room where I used to live. Starry Plow. We have live music on, I think, Thursdays. So open mic was around there somewhere. Nice little bar. Very nice to be back, even digitally. Let's come in for a landing. Then I'm going to land right on Shattuck. Hopefully these weird cars are not going to make my plane disappear. Lower throttle. I'm going to put down the flaps. A lot of talking for 2 hours, over 2 hours here. Wow. Okay, here I come. Landing on Shattuck Avenue, very steep. I might have to go around one more time, but let's give it a shot. Coming in very steeply. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, yeah, I don't know if I don't think there's gonna be space. I don't think my wingspan is gonna let me land on Shattuck, so I'm just going to do a low pass, and then I'm going to turn and try to land on that very small field of Bushrod Park. There it is. Okay, big playground's going to be coming. Here's Bushrod Park to my right. Here's the playground to my left. Oh, right by the playground, right over the trees. Hey, right over the trees. 227. Okay, turning around. I'm gonna keep heading on this heading, and then I'm gonna turn and do a low pass to the playground. Just miss the roof and try to hit, not hit, but land on Bushrod Park. 227 for my notes later for the highlights. All right, let's turn. So a little turn here with my Savage Cub after a long flight all the way from San Simeon to the playground here in North Oakland, close to Berkeley. Okay, cut throttle. Check if my flaps are really down. They are. All right, here we go. Make sure that my position on the cockpit can give me enough place to see. Just gonna miss the roof of the playground. I'm gonna have to put a little more power to miss the redwood tree on the garden. Here it is. Passing by the playground. There was our old room. There's Mario's room. Opa, right over the tree. And now right over. Oh, let's get a little more power right on the throttle here. I can hear the stall horn. And then right down to the park. Let's give it a little bit more power to try to get into this. Oh, man. Oh, no. I crashed into like a merry-go-round or something. All right, that's it. Un bacione. Ciao.